समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. This is verse 18 now, and yes, so it is the topic of creation, and here we do the 18th verse, which is talking about how the world was created. Now, अव्यक्तद्व्यक्तयः सर्वाः प्रभवन्ते अरागमे रात्र्यागमे प्रलीयन्ते तत्रैवाव्यक्तसंज्ञके. Next verse. भूतग्राम स एवायं भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्यागमे वशः पार्थ प्रभवत्यः रागमे. The 18th verse translation is, from the unmanifested all the manifested proceed at the coming of day, and at the coming of night they dissolve verily in that alone which is called the unmanifested. And the second verse is, this same multitude of beings are being born again and again and are dissolved into the unmanifested helplessly. O Partha, at the coming of night, and they come forth again in the coming of day. Now see, does it mean that every day the world dissolves and every day the world is created? He is talking about the day and night of Brahmaji. Now we had said that so many thousands and thousands and thousands, whatever the number, unimaginable number, is his day. So many numbers of years is his day, and that many numbers of years is his night. One night, one day. And like that, he lives 1,000 years, and then after that, everything dissolves. Now, this constant, here he is saying that in the day, everything is created, and at night, it is dissolved. That means for thousands of years, the creation lasts, and then for thousands of years, the creation disappears. Now, please understand, this theory of creation. There are umpteen theories of creation. In Hinduism also, there is not one. There are many theories. Okay. And these are in Puranas and all kind of theories of creation. You have them in all religions. So you have the Adi Purush theory, you have the Big Bang theory, you have the Adam and Eve theory, you have the pata nahi kya aur kya aur kya. So many theories at how creation was made. Still, the intellect of the student is not satisfied and does not understand, because please remember that Hinduism's concept, the Hindu philosophy, the Vedantic philosophy says there is no creation. Please carefully. When they say there is no creation, what does it mean? It means, see, in our language, creations means the production of a shape, a form, a name. A new thing made is called creation, which did not exist before. Okay. Now, if it did not exist before, so where is the raw material? Who created the raw material? Even when you create something, there must be a raw material with which you create it. Okay. Okay. So, who created the raw material? Secondly, when the raw material is there, it can only create what are the potentialities dormant in that material. Carefully, like mud. Mud can create a pot, mud can create a doll, mud can create any shape of anything, but mud cannot create a sweet, barfi, laddu, ice cream. No, it cannot create that because these things are not inherently there in mud. Got it? Hmm. So then, and mud is not the only raw material. I just gave you an example. Now, so then, the teacher, just to satisfy the student, you will say, what are all these stories about creation then? All these stories about creation, Gurudev used to say, when Vedant believes there is no such thing as creation, it is all an illusion created by your mind. But then, what are these stories? Gurudev used to say that they are artistic bluffs. They are very beautifully polished lies by the teacher. They are chiseled stories of interest that the student may believe that, okay, this is how it was done. This is how it was done. You know? So, like children ask even about the creation of a brother or a sister. A small child will ask that where will my brother come from? The parents have told the child that you are going to get a new brother. So the child asks, how will my brother come? So the parent, I'm talking of today's parents, huh? So the parent says that, there will be a big stork that will fly over our roof, and he will have a bundle in which the baby will be, and then he will drop the bundle on the roof, and you will get your brother. So the little boy these days of internet and all, huh? So the fellow says that, oh Papa, I hope he drops it softly because mummy is pregnant and she might get a shock. So the father, so all this bluff about the stork flying and dropping the bundle and all, the child didn't swallow. Now here the student is wondering about all these stories of creation. Now, I told you that because in the worldly sense, creation means a production of a form, a production. But philosophically viewed by the Upanishads, by Vedanta, creation is only something totally different. Now, we will come to how creation can be. Creation is a crystallization of an existent thought into the projected world. In that projected world, whatever you are thinking takes form. Again, that thing example of the ghost and the post. There is a post, but in your mind there is a ghost. In your mind that there is a ghost standing over there, and he is looking at me with a crooked smile, and he is looking directly at me, and he's got a dagger in his hand. All the projection you have made, so you are not seeing the post, you are only seeing the ghost. And the same that I have given you thousands of times by now, the same example of the snake and the rope. You see the snake with your own mind. So, who has created the snake? Your mind. Your mind has created the snake. Acha, okay. Now, all these stories of creation have been given out by some human being, whether it is a prophet or it is a rishi or it is a this one or that one, whosoever. But one human being has given that story to his students. Acha. So that means that rishi and the students existed before creation. उसके बाद क्रिएशन हुआ, इनको कैसे पता कि ऐसे क्रिएशन हुआ? So there is no ऐसे हुआ था, वैसे हुआ था, वैसे हुआ था. They are all imagining all those things. Now, one human being giving out a story to the students, creation happened when? Or how thousands of years back were they there to see what happened? So it is one big bluff, as Gurudev used to say, that that is not possible. But देखो होता क्या है कि here when they say day and night, ये बातें कर रहे हैं. So and they say that you create and then it dissolves. You create and then it dissolves. Your own mind will create when you wake up, when you are gone into deep sleep. And deep sleep में ये कहते हैं ना कि you go into it helplessly. Deep sleep, when you are very very sleepy, does it take effort to go into sleep? No. Helplessly you are pulled into it. So he is using the same word. He is saying that मतलब उसमें आपका वश नहीं चलता. Avasha is the word used. So avasha is what? Helplessly. So you create your own world when you wake up. When you go back into deep slumber, your world is totally folded up. You fold up your own world where? Into yourself. It is not a asan baithne ka कि you fold it and put it under your arm. No. You project the world, you take the world back. ठीक है ना? हाँ. Now just think about it, even an illusion, even a misunderstanding about a friend. Okay? How do you have that misunderstanding? Because of previous thoughts and prejudices, you have formed an opinion about somebody and you project onto that person, he is like this, like this, like this, like this. Some one day that misunderstanding is cleared and you say, oh, he is not what I used to think of him. So the reality of the misunderstanding was created by your own mind, and then the reality of the misunderstanding being wiped out is also created by your mind, isn't it? So what was the reality? Similarly, देखो seed होता है ना, seed. Now in that seed is the potentiality of a tree, not seen when it is in a seed form. So in the seed form it is unmanifest, and when it manifests it is a tree or a plant or a tree or whatever. है या नहीं? Similarly, butter in milk, not seen, but it is in an unmanifest form in milk. So when you churn the milk, the butter manifests. From where does it manifest? If it was not there, it cannot manifest, right? So all that you manifest into the world is already there in an unmanifested form in your mind. If it is not in your mind, you cannot manifest it. Haven't you heard people saying कि ये तो हमारे दिमाग में ही नहीं आया कभी, हमने तो ऐसा कभी सोचा ही नहीं. तो सोचा ही नहीं तो आप उसको मैनिफेस्ट भी नहीं कर सकते हैं. You are what your thoughts are. Your actions are as your thoughts are. So then it is this, that I gave you the example of the painter last time. A painter's unmanifested painting is in his mind. When he manifests it, when he starts painting on a canvas, it is manifest. A piece of music that a musician creates is in unmanifest form in his mind. When he creates that music, it is a manifested form. So you understand the unmanifest and the manifest. Okay. Now the the unmanifested has a pattern. Everyone's unmanifested world is not the same. because it follows there is a like Gurudev writes that there is a consistency in the species in procreation. A frog cannot produce an elephant. A tiger's baby cannot be a cow. Got it? A human being can only produce another human being. So there has to be a cause and effect is the same thing in different shapes. Cause and its effect is the same thing in a different form. That is why the genes in a family come down 7 generations. That is a psychological fact. It's a biological fact. That is why families used to scrutinize families before having a marriage tie. Because aapki family mein bua, chachi, tai, this one, that one, somebody in the family had some thing in them that can travel to your child. It can travel to your grandchild. It can travel. So like that. So there is a consistency of this. Now, यहाँ पे consistency किस चीज की है? Thought currents. Because we are dealing with the mind over here. Okay, creation is the only unmanifest becoming manifest. That is what we are trying to say. The unmanifest becoming the manifest becomes creation. और वो day and night इसलिए कह रहे हैं because ब्रह्मा जी का day and night, this is also a story that Brahma ji is the creator. It is just a story. Vedanta does not believe in creation, be very clear. They only say that the only thing that does not die when a human being dies is the mind and intellect, the subtle body, which in Vedanta is known as Sukshma Sharira. ठीक है ना? वो जो सूक्ष्म शरीर है वो फिर भी रहता है. So it will travel to a new equipment to again play out the desires that it has. So it will manifest only, it can manifest those desires only when it has an equipment to manifest them. Unless that it takes a form, it cannot do shopping. Acha, then come here. See, pralaya, he says, happens avasha. Avasha, all the mind and intellect go in. Now you will say, okay, but then who created this whole world? If you create your own world, आपका लोक है अपना, डॉक्टर का लोक, आर्किटेक्ट का लोक, इंजीनियर का लोक, हाँ, एक बच्चे का लोक, एक माँ का लोक, आपका अपना लोक है. Now, who created this whole world then? The question is, हमको दिखती है ना दुनिया सारी, who created that? That comes the question. It is the total mind. Total mind put together becomes ईश्वर. जिसको आप ईश्वर का टर्म देते हैं, ईश्वर इज नॉट ब्रह्म. ब्रह्म इज प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस. ईश्वर इज द क्रिएटर. So who is the creator? The total mind. When the total mind desires this, then the Lord has to give you a field to play out those thoughts and desires. And therefore, the world of illusion is created by the total mind. And the total mind ka hi pralay ho jata hai when everything disappears. And this total mind, again and again, he says that the very same multitude of beings are born again and again and again because the desires keep multiplying. As I told you, that we helplessly keep multiplying desires. We keep doing plus one, plus one. See somebody's beautiful sari, then you go to the market and say that no, I want this sari. Okay, you hunt and hunt and hunt. Huh? You've saved up Rakhi money or this or that, whatever. And then you go and say, Acha, ab main to ye let. Then you want to buy that. While you are hunting for that sari, you see 10 others which you like. and you have already made a program in your mind that two I'll buy now and the other five I'll buy next time. So, what have you done? You went to have a bath and came out a little more dirty. You went to exhaust one desire and came out with five more desires, isn't it? So, this is what now to exhaust those desires again and again, you take birth and project your own world, project your own surroundings, and project your own. But Gurudev used to say that a very true seeker or a deep seeker, he will get all the punyas. So he will go to a punya lok. That means he will be born in a family with a lot of comforts, a lot of luxury, a lot of that is heaven. And then, but he is not interested in all those. पर उसको वो भोगना है because of his deeds. वो भोग के and then he comes back to perform his sadhana. हाँ? And then वही है योगिनाम श्रीमताम गेहे. In the house of yogis, in the house which is comfortable with food and residence, he is born to continue his sadhana. So that kind of a thing is there. अच्छा, गुरुदेव ने यहाँ पर लिखा है that all the divine tendencies that are there in you dormant, that are unmanifested, have to play out, and the student has to make his own effort guided by the teacher. No teacher, that this be very careful, and you must have heard that oh, कोई किसी ने आपके माथे को हाथ लगाया and the Brahma chakra opened and the falana happened and you suddenly went high and all that. वो नहीं हो सकता till such a time. No teacher can do it. The teacher, neither is the teacher capable of doing it because that bud is not ready to open. Gurudev used to give this example. We had asked him that Swamiji, but this does happen that they say by the touch of a guru, by the look of a guru, जिसको नयन दीक्षा कहते हैं या क्या तो गुरु का सानिध्य कहते हैं. The student can go very high suddenly and he can realize. So Gurudev said that happens only when the student is absolutely ready for it. When the student is not ready for that kind of high experience, no teacher can give it to him. The student has to work up to that level. And then at that level, the guru can help him flower out. Now, see, he used to give the example of a bud. Now, when the bud is tight, if you want to make it a flower and you forcefully open the bud, okay, what will happen? It will wilt, it will die, and it will not have the beauty of the flower. But have you seen a flower opening? Sometimes you may have seen. You keep watching. One petal opens, another opens, another opens. Then just two petals of the flower are mildly stuck together. Then what happens? A whiff of breeze comes and touches them, and then they suddenly open up. So it is like that, what Gurudev said. That that person who is up to that level in spirituality, the teacher can just touch him and he will flower out. So such a person, he says, never comes back again. He says that such a person never comes back again. Now here, come on, we will do this. Next verse. परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यो अव्यक्तो व्यक्तो अव्यक्तात् सनातनः यः स सर्वेषु भूतेषु नश्यत्सु न विनश्यते. Now the question before this verse is, upon what permanent platform does the unmanifested come to play its drama of life? One thing you must understand, that no change can happen unless there is an unchanging platform on which the change takes place. If you are also swinging and the world is also swinging, you cannot see the change. Have you noticed? Sometimes you may have noticed that when you are sitting in a train which is stationary and another train is moving past by that, only then you can see the train moving. But if that train is also moving and your train is also moving along with, then you do not see the movement. You have to be standing by the roadside, which is stationary, to see the vehicles moving. So, here, what is the permanent platform, the unchanging platform on which you can see the change, the drama of life, we call it. Parastasmatu bhavonya. We've done this verse. Huh? So, okay, here we go. But verily, there exists higher than that unmanifested avyakta, another unmanifest, which is eternal, which is not destroyed when all beings are destroyed. Hmm. Dekho, there is one thing which is permanently there and which is always there, which is not destroyed never. Whether you are unconscious, under anesthesia, or in deep sleep. When you come out of these things, aren't you conscious that there was nothing there? Supposing there was, you say, no, but I know that there was nothing. Don't you use the word no? You said, I know that I did not dream. I know that there was nothing in my deep sleep. How do you know? So that conscious principle is still there, which makes you know that there was nothing. Right? So remember that, huh? That is pure consciousness, that is the changeless, that is the substratum, that is the platform on which all the change takes place. All the projections, all the conditions, all the change is taken place over there. So it says, but verily there exists higher than the unmanifested, avyakta, another unmanifest. So एक और unmanifest है जिस पे सब कुछ होता है. The example Gurudev used to give is that the blackboard is always there because on which the teachers come and write. हाँ, इसमें आपके commentary में है, पढ़ लीजिए. It is the example I am explaining. The blackboard is there. Every teacher comes in and write something on the blackboard. Then the maths teacher comes, then the history teacher comes, then the geography teacher comes, and everybody wipes the blackboard clean first and then write something else on it. So the things keep disappearing, the unmanifest keeps manifesting on the blackboard, right? Blackboard is the substratum on which things keep manifesting. So, unmanifest manifesting on the blackboard. The blackboard is the substratum which never changes. Even when the school is closed and everybody goes home, the teacher's gone home, students gone home, the blackboard is still there. Right? So, the blackboard never goes, it never moves, it is always there to support the unmanifest getting onto the manifest. So the changing world is manifested on the changeless substratum, and that is never destroyed. Please remember that. Huh? That consciousness or the pure consciousness or the life principle or whatever you call it, you can call it God, you can call it what you like, that is never, never, never destroyed. Okay. So this thing is the unseen unmanifest. Carefully. This thing is the permanent, unseen, unmanifest, subtlest of the subtle, eternal, and indestructible in any possible way. It is not destroyed because it is so subtle. Even a thing like air, can you kill air with a bullet? Can you cut air with a sword? No, because it is so subtle that the gross instruments or the gross weapons cannot destroy it. It will still be there. Only the gross things, the buildings can be destroyed. You are seeing it today in the Ukraine war. But the subtle, the air, cannot be destroyed. So then, here, see, the unmanifest vasanas, the unmanifested vasanas are the seeds that manifest in every mind. In every human mind, it is they that manifest. Okay. So, when you say the word avidya, avidya is the non apprehension of that which is. फिर से बोल रही हूँ, avidya or ignorance in English is the non apprehension of that which is and will be. Okay, now you will say that avidya is ignorance. So, ignorance of what? It's a transitive verb. I am ignorant of this dog. I am ignorant that my neighbor existed. I am ignorant. You have to be ignorant of something, right? You have to be ignorant of something or the other. So, what is that thing? You are ignorant of the permanent truth. You are ignorant of that which is. You imagine the not is to be the is. That which does not exist, you project reality on it, and that which exists, you are ignorant of. This is what the verse is saying. You are ignorant of that which exists, which is the highest, the subtlest, the total thing which is always there, indestructible, and all that. So then, this is the main factor called the truth. You can call it the truth, you can call it pure consciousness, you can call it Parabrahma, any name, give it any name, but it is that which is the permanent. We'll do this, and the 21st verse we'll do next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurabhyo Namaha Hari Om.